There are several places in this map that I would recommend putting a spawn beacon. This is not one of them. However, if you are in a bit of a pickle and you need to get up there quickly, and everywhere else is taken, it's an okay place to put it down. When you are spawning onto a beacon, you need to make sure that the beacon was placed facing the right direction that you want to spawn. You can tell that from the screen it shows when you go to spawn. The screen that it's showing right now says that I would spawn facing that direction, which is what I want if I'm trying to get onto the crane. And also when you're placing the beacon, you need to make sure that the direction you're looking is the direction you want to go when you're parachuting, because that's how the beacon works. And so spawning from this spot here, you're going to want to immediately hold down to go back. When you get to about there, you want to let go. Because of that significant drop after you hold the down button, you want to make sure you estimate that right. However, I would probably recommend more so this one, if you're able to, and you have the time, as it provides you a little bit of a better approach when you're parachuting in. Even still, as opposed to that last one, there's either this one just here, or you could place it just here. Both of these positions allow for a fairly decent approach to the crane, and if done right, you can even put it back here. Sort of stop whoever's on the crane from being able to see your beacon and shoot at it. Meaning dying and spawning on it wouldn't be pointless. As you can see, spawning from that further back one, behind that green container, does land you on the second floor of the crane, but by doing so you can get on top of this yellow bit here, which is a nice little advantageous spot, because grenades land up onto the floor below, that floor just there, and you can use this thing as cover. Also, it's a good protection from being assassinated. If someone falls down to that level, they may still be able to knife you and shoot you, but it's not as humiliating as losing your dog tags. Also, by managing to land on the crane without touching that bar above, means by dropping from there to this level here, you won't lose any health. However, if you do land on that thing, the amount of health you lose from dropping from there to there is negligible, so you should be able to just get by as long as you're not being shot at as you do it. One of the ones I like to use a lot of is probably this one. You're going to place it just here at the base of the concrete wall and between the yellow container. It's hidden from view, it's a nice little opening so you'll still spawn and have a nice approach to the crane. Depending on the situation and how alert I feel the other person on the crane is, if I'm coming in to kill someone who is on the crane, I will first off place a beacon before going for them, just in case they manage to kill me. I may have a chance to spawn on the beacon and get them again. And another one I like to use is either just here behind this set of blocks underneath the bridge, or even just behind this storage container. Both still allow for a decent approach towards the crane again, and at the same time stop whoever's on there from being able to see it. Finally, there's this lower down area. You can choose to either put it just here, flush against the wall, but facing this way so that you still would spawn at an angle that would get you up there, or just behind this container. Again, both positions stop your beacon from being shot at from whoever's on the crane, and make it a little bit easier to surprise them when you spawn off it. Like a couple of the other positions, this one is a doable position. You are able to get up there, but it's recommended. I would recommend that you go back there because it is a rather sharp approach, and you're more likely to overreach and overstep it. The first thing you're going to want to do when you spawn is make sure you're angling towards the crane. So you look down, make sure you know where it is, and try and position yourself to go towards it. Wait till you're just starting to get above it at about that angle, and allow you to drop straight down onto it. And I choose to put my beacon flush against the wall, like that, while facing into it. While it doesn't allow you to pick it up, it does allow you to spawn straight into that spot as opposed to parachuting from above. Another good spot is also placing it here, just the back of the crane here. However, your beacon can be shot at by anyone standing over there, in a few positions along here, and also from underneath the crane. Hence why I like to put it over here. When spawning onto the crane itself, if you've placed a beacon, as I have, at the base that allows you to spawn there without having to parachute, the very first thing I do is throw myself to the ground into the prone position so that no one can shoot at my body the second spawn shield disappears. And of course I check my surroundings just to make sure that I am actually lying down in case my computer is glitched. Immediately place my spawn beacon again just in case I get shot out by someone with USAS or an RPG or anything of the sorts. And do a preliminary check just to make sure no one's staring at me before I go into my sniping mode. Another thing to do if you are on the crane but you're on the bottom floor and you want to get to the top floor next time you spawn, you don't have to hop off and place down another beacon. You can just place it in the back left corner of it. And when you spawn on this beacon on the crane, in order to get onto the top floor, the first thing I do, if I've angled it the right way, facing the right direction, is immediately hold down my A button and spin to the left. I want to create a nice wide arc, try and come in at it from the top. Once I get to about there, I start holding back, or holding on the down. Hopefully land it on top, and I have screwed it up. So I would place my beacon again, and I would keep fighting until I die again. Nearly screwed that one up. The idea is to practice about how much you have to pull back on it, because when you pull down or back, depending on your point of view, when you press S while you're parachuting, it does slow down your forward progress, but it will also cause you to drop a significant distance after you let go, as opposed to normal. So just practice getting the hang of that and becoming used to how it works. As I said earlier, the best way to stay alive on the crane is to throw yourself to the ground straight away after you spawn, because if you're up there for a while, you usually attract a bit of attention, and you're likely to be shot at the second you spawn, because people look out for that. So I immediately spawn, throw myself to the ground, double check that I'm actually lying on the ground, place my beacon. Before you place your beacon, I usually recommend waiting about a second or so, because sometimes the game does glitch. If you do it too quickly, you actually cause your spawn beacon to disappear from your inventory without having placed it, which can be kind of annoying when you intend to stay up here for a while. I place down a tugs usually just to let me know if someone's parachuting in or give me a bit of a last minute warning, and also to let my teammates know when there's someone underneath the crane. And getting a bit of a spot bonus points never hurts. After I spawn, I move around to this side, assuming there's no one else here at the moment. And I usually do a bit of a peek down to the lowered areas, and the spots where people usually stand to try and kill me. Do a bit of a check on the train as well. All the while spotting, my finger never strays too far from Q. And the third spot just down there. And then last of all, just in case your tugs hasn't already picked up on it, I just check underneath to make sure there's no one staring up at me. And then from there I usually take whatever approach I feel necessary at the time to snipe people from the crane. Always keep in mind though that the further forward you are, the more you open yourself up to where people spawn from on the train. And if someone is trying to kill you while you're up on the crane, they do usually tend to stand at the back of that train, hiding behind the containers. So I would always recommend standing further back here and just popping up to see where they are, then popping down, moving to the side a little bit, so that if they saw you pop up and they're aiming where your head was, they won't expect to see it pop up in a slightly different spot. And just do that a little bit, all the while making sure to watch down here and down over there. And just being prepared for anything that might happen, such as falling off the crane. It does happen a lot actually when you're trying to move around, hide from cover. But if you fall off, always make the most of it. Run around, make sure this area is clean of people, and then just play until you die.